It's election day. We came down here to eat just for a minute. Started out super cold this morning. Our toes were cold. Our hands were cold. And we were just cold. Period. And now it's warmed up to about 60-some degrees. I want to let you guys know no results have came in yet. No results have came in yet. Had a few people texting me want to know if any kind of results have came in, and they will not come in until 6 p.m. Central Time. 6 p.m. Central Time is when results for the ELA will start coming in. So we've been down here since early this morning when the polls open. There's two places in our hometown, mainly where city voters are going to vote, and we got both of those places covered. I have had since early in the morning. So we're just, thought India's up there now. Ricky and Christy's been helping. So we thought we'd come out and get off our feet just for a minute, make a video, go live, let you guys know what's going on. And we are expecting some results at 6 o'clock, 6 Central Time. So we are going to be expecting some results. Trying to see what that fella was wanting there. We are feeling confident. I'm not seeing anybody comment, but we're feeling confident. We're around the 70% range, thinking that we've won this, that we've got it won, but you don't never know. Elections are that we've got it won, but you don't never know. Elections are funny. Voters are fickle sometimes. But over the last year, actually 3 years, counting the other campaign that sort of got drawn out into another year and another year, we've done the best job that we can. I'm going to say we did 75% the right thing and probably 27%, making some wrong moves. So I think that's pretty good. I think we get a passing grade as far as the political moves that we tried to make and the way that we ran our campaign. I think we're up there closer to 75-80% on running a very good campaign. And just like anything, 10 or 20% of the time you're going to do things that hurt you, or at least doesn't help you none. It just leaves you wasting your time. But I'm looking forward to hearing the results tonight, one way or the other. Our campaigning will be over. We're going to roll up our sleeves either way. So, and we're going to be okay either way. We've been through enough this year that we know how to overcome obstacles. We know how to overcome losses. And that's how we learn in life. Your water line is busted. 17 people. That's 17 votes. Thank you so much. Well, they're doing it something different this year, Cynthia. I found out yesterday that they are not, it's a place I'm going to have to end this pretty soon, but the radio station used to pay the different polling places to get the results as soon as they were done. But this year they're not doing that. So Chris Nelson is going to be up at Elaine Wilms' office, or our county clerk. And I don't know for sure that if he's going to broadcast from there or if he's just going to record it. But I will, as soon as I know the results of the races, I will go live on Facebook to let everybody know the results. And then I'll go live on YouTube to let you guys know. I'll do my best to, if we get a pretty stunning defeat. It may take me a few hours or even the next day to go on there. So, you know how I am. I'm tender-hearted, and it'll sting a while. All right, Shelley, we will. We'll make sure that we do that. We'll let everybody know. I'll do my best to stay composed if it's a defeat. And you got to keep that in the back of your mind. You can't be so overconfident. And if you get to the place where you're so overconfident that you think you're going to win, and then if it winds up being a defeat, then it really crushes you. But if you sort of keep that in the back of your mind, it's just like with everything you do in life. You're not absolutely crushed. It's people that get their hopes so high, have so much confidence, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. I do too, Cynthia. And like I said, I don't want to get overconfident because that's when people really get crushed. I've started business ventures before and got so confident and knew it would work, and then pretty well crushes you. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, Jeff, there's no guarantee in life on anything we do. And it's like I told them this morning, if you pray, ask God to guide people's hands on the way, guide your hands on the way you need to vote. And if you listen to God, no matter how it turns out, you've done the right thing. And India, has told me, well, whatever happens is in God's hands, which it is. But God gives everybody free will. It's not God's will for some of these countries to not believe in Him and to persecute Christians. That's not in God's will. It's man's will. If those countries would start praying to God and listen to Him, then you wouldn't see those kind of atrocities take place. And it's the same thing here. We wonder why God lets somebody get in power, and it's not God. He gives us free will. He wants us to pray. And He'll lead you in the right direction on who to vote for if we listen to Him. But a lot of times people don't. They go with their parties or they go with their feelings instead of listening to God. But if people would listen to God, the majority of the people, then most of the time God's man, God's woman would be in office. And I just want to reiterate that. A lot of times we'll see leaders and they do awful things, and we wonder why God allowed that. God didn't allow us. He gave us free will and free mind. And He's not just going to snap His fingers. He could. He very well could. I mean, He's God. He's omnipotence. He very well could, but He's not going to. He gives all of us free will. We wonder sometimes why bad things happen to us. Why me, God? Why me? It's because men and women, we've got free will. That's one thing God gave us. If He controlled us, that's a robot. And everything that He programmed us just to do certain things, He would never know. If we're doing it just because He programmed us that way, or if we actually made a conscious choice to say serve Him, to love Him, to do good to your neighbor, if He just programmed us to do that, He wouldn't know if we really loved our neighbors or not, because He put a button in us and automatically made us do it. That's where our spirit, our soul is the breath of life, then our spirit is this conscious thinking part. And God, communicates with it, and when we don't listen to God's voice, things happen. And sometimes we listen to God's voice and other people are not, and they do bad things, and then we blame it on God. And bad things happen and we blame it on God. And it's not our fault, not God's fault, it's those other people that do these bad things. And if people begin to pray and listen to God, you'd see a lot of the evilness begin to creep out of the United States and out of this world. And I don't know how I got off on here preaching and teaching about this, but I just felt led in my spirit that somebody's, you're blaming God for different things that's happened in your life. And you don't necessarily got to blame yourself for these things happening, because there's a lot of other people that don't listen to God, because He gave us all free will. to listen to him or not listen to him. And that's just sometimes the way it goes. And if I don't wind up winning this election tonight, and I really think it's God's will, but it may not be. People might have prayed to him and asked, who do we vote for? And he might have laid it on their spirit to vote for the other guy. And I've got to accept that. And that's why a lot of times we're not acceptance of the things that happen in life and in this world. And when it all boils down to it, we all came from God. He breathed the breath of life in us. He knew us before we was in our mother's womb. God knew us. You're right, Jeff. Exactly. But God knew us before we was in our mother's womb. I don't know where we was at, what we was doing, but it must have been glorious. But he knew us before our mother and father conceived us. So he's the one that breathed the breath of life in us. And we are from God, and one day we'll return to God. So I'm going to get off here. We got I'm going to show y'all what we got going here real quick. But I guess that was let me turn my camera around. Can you guys see what's up there that we've got holding up signs? Today's India's birthday. If anybody's got Facebook, message her, tell her happy birthday. She's down here working. Thank you, Don. But there they all are up there. Christian, Ricky Shields, Troy Anderson, India. They're all up there holding up signs, and one of our city council members, he's on quarantine, so they're holding up the sign for him because he can't get out. Thank you, Don. Thank you, everybody. But there they are. That's where everybody goes in to vote here. That's why we chose a strategic place to have the most impact on today's election. And we have never heard so much blowing and enthusiasm. I mean, if we go by that, we've got this thing by a landslide. Thank you, Eric. So I'm going to get back up there and go ahead and try to, I don't know what, I got somebody else over there. Go ahead and try to garner some more votes. We'll know the results around, it may be a little later. I don't know how they're really going to do it this year. I know the details, but I don't know how long it's going to take them. So 6 o'clock Central. We'll try to come on here and Facebook. Like I said, it may be so much going on. It may be a few